Hello, friends. Let me ask you, why do some leaders spot the next big thing while the others are caught off guard? In this video, we dive into a powerful paradox from Bhagavad Gita, which is explained in chapter 2, verse 69, that defines the world's most successful CEOs. While the ignorant and the distracted by the short term noise and hype, the sage sees a completely different reality. Let us learn more about this. Welcome, visionary leaders, to the discussion that might just change how you perceive your business, your market, and even yourself. We're talking about the CEO's edge, seeing what the market misses. And what if I told you that the secret of this edge is this almost prophetic foresight lies in a wisdom of thousands of years old, captured in a single verse from Bhagavad Gita? Think about it. In today's hyper-connected, information overloaded world, every CEO, every entrepreneur, every leader faces an overwhelming tide of data, market trends, consumer behavior, and the competitors' analysis, economic forecast. It's a constant deluge and almost, coming every second in front of you. And amidst all this daylight of information, why do some companies thrive, consistently innovating and adapting, while others, equally smart, equally resourced, seems to stumble, caught off guard by shifts that is, in hindsight, appears obvious? It's not about, not just about having more data. It's about seeing differently. It's about discerning the signal from the noise when everyone else is mesmerized by the static. It's about having an uninverted vision. This concept of inverted visions brings us to profound verses from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 69. And let me share it with you. And the quote starts: "What is darkness for ignorant being is daylight, a time of awakening for those with self control. What is daylight for the ignorant is the dark of the night for sages who sees things clearly." And the quote ends. Let us read that again. It is not just poetry, it's a strategic blueprint. Bhagwan Krishna, speaking to Arjun, reveals a fundamental truth about perception. For the ordinary, the uncontrolled, what appears as a night, unknown, uncertainty, the long term, and the unconventional is exactly where the self control, which is the sage, find their daylight, their clarity, their opportunity. Conversely, what the masses sees as bright, clear daylight, the prevailing trend, which is the immediate gratification, and the consensus, it is often the very night, the blind spot for the truly discerning. Let's translate this ancient wisdom into the modern boardroom. What is darkness for the ignorant being? For most businesses, this darkness represents long-term trend, the slow underlying shifts in demographics, technology, or the societal values that aren't just causing immediate market ripples. Uncertainty and disruption, the fear of unknown, the inclination to stick to familiar patterns leading to resistance against necessary innovation. Next, ethical and sustainable practices, often seen as the cost centers or distractions rather than future proofing investments because their immediate ROI isn't obvious. Is daylight a time of awakening for those with self control? The self control CEO, the sage, the leader, is awake to these very things and they embrace uncertainty, seeing it not as a threat but as a fertile ground for differentiation and the competitive advantages. Next, they focus on the fundamentals. Understand that true value isn't built on fleeting trends but a timeless principle, adapting those principles to the new context. Next, they also cultivate foresight, possess the discipline to look beyond the immediate P&L, investing in R&D, talent development, and sustainable practices that build the future resilience. What is daylight for the ignorant is the dark of the night for sages who see, and here is the crucial inversion. What the market generally perceives as daylight can often be the greatest distraction. Short-term gain and hype cycles are definitely a very big distraction. Chasing every shiny object, every fleeting trend, leading to scattered resources and diluted focus. Next distraction could be consensus and group thinking. Following the crowd, making decisions based on what everyone is doing rather than independent critical thinking. Next distraction is market noise. The constant chatter, the daily stock fluctuation, the instant reaction, all of which can obscure the deeper, more significant signals. So, how do you develop this CEO's edge? How do you become the leader who sees what the market misses? It boils down to cultivating a self control and sage like perception mentioned in the Gita. And here are the three actionable strategies that I would like to suggest, which I have gathered from the Bhagavad Gita. First, cultivate strategic solitude, which is, in other words, embrace the night. In a world of constant meetings and notification, emails, carve out deliberate time for deep thinking, reflection, and quiet observations. This isn't about checking emails, it's about stepping away from the daylight or daily operations to ponder the darkness of the future possibilities. Read widely beyond your industry. Meditate, journal. This quiet space is where the true insight emerges. Next is challenge the obvious. Question the daylight. When everyone is rushing in one direction, ask why. When a trend is universally accepted, explore its hidden weaknesses or inevitable saturation points. Don't be afraid to to contradict, not for the sake of it, but from a place of informed, critical analysis. Look for the underlying forces, not just the surface manifestations. Next, develop your inner compass, which is self-control. This is perhaps the most critical. Self-control in Bhagavad Gita context isn't just about suppressing desires. It's about mastering your mind. It's the ability to remain calm amidst chaos, to make decisions based on principle rather than panic, to defer immediate gratification for long-term vision. This involves emotional intelligence, resilience, and deep understanding of our own values and purpose. When your internal compass is steady, you can navigate any storm. Think of companies like Apple under Steve Jobs. When the market was obsessed with speed and spec, Jobs saw the darkness of user experience and design as his daylight. Or look at other example, Amazon, when Jeff Bezos' relentless focus on long-term customer obsession, often sacrificing short-term profits. While others were chasing quarterly earnings, they were seeing what the market missed, operating from a different plane of awareness. This isn't about the clairvoyant, it's about the disciplined observation, critical thinking, and a steady internal resolve. It's about being awake to the subtle signals when others are asleep to everything but the loudest noise. Bhagavad Gita lesson from chapter 2, verse 69 isn't just a philosophy, it's a powerful framework for strategic leadership. It challenges us to look beyond the obvious, to find opportunities in uncertainty, and to cultivate the inner discipline that allow us to see the world from a profound clarity. So I invite you, what darkness in your industry or market are you currently overlooking? What's daylight are you perhaps blindly following? Take a moment this week to reflect on this powerful verse. How can you apply this inverted vision to your leadership to gain the undeniable CEO's edge? Thank you for joining me today. And if you found this discussion insightful, please like this video, share it with your fellow leaders, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into ancient wisdom from Bhagavad Gita, which fits exactly into the modern success. See you in the next one.